Hi everyone, I'm Christina with Sanctuary Within You, and today we're going to do a pick a pile as usual with three different piles that you can pick from. If you follow me along, you know that last week I talked about boundaries, and we were going to talk about more about that today. So I'm going to put timestamps down below, and after the three piles, I'm going to do a little bit more about boundaries. It's something that's been coming up, obviously, with this full moon, and also I think in every single session that I've had this week, we've talked about boundaries and speaking your own truth in regards to friendships, in regards to work and family, and partners or calling in partners. Where do we hold our boundaries, and how does that then pan out in our communication, in how we're seen, and all of that in relationships? Um, so if you want to know more about that, go back and or go to the end of it, and I'll put the timestamp below in the description. A couple of things really quickly before we start today. I now have my winter solstice ritual available. We're going to do that on the 21st of December. And last year when we did it, it was just such a love bundle. If you've been following me along, or if you're in my Facebook group or Facebook or Instagram, you know that I'm all for creating love so that you can be in a safe space to fully feel your truth, because it's where we are seen, where we are loved, that we can just tap into who we are and clarify that for ourselves and feel that. And from there, everything actually just becomes magical. So the theme for this winter solstice ritual is gratitude. We're going to do a little beautiful gratitude ritual because it's all about going within as well this time of year, if you're in the northern hemisphere, obviously. And then we're going to do intention, really tap into your depth of what you came here to do and to be, and setting yourself up for success in 2023. So if you are interested in that, come with me in that. I'm also going to launch, that's December 21st, did I say that? At 4 p.m. PST Pacific time. And I'm also going to launch on that day, I'm going to launch the membership and program that I've been working on for next year. It's something new that I haven't done before. It's different from the memberships that I've had before. It's more of a program based, but it's a little bit of everything. So if you're on that winter solstice call with me, you get a chance to save extra money as you sign up for that, and the VIP package and all of this stuff. So if you are into that, come and be with us. Um, let's see here. Is there anything else? No, I think that was it. Oh, right. Before we start, the first pile is the Labradorite, and I wanted to say too that I've put together, if you haven't seen it, my meditation bundle that I have, that I launched a few months ago. I've put together in a gift wrap too, and it comes with the Labradorite palm stone. It's really, really good to meditate and get focused with. So this bundle is videos online. It's 13 of my most amazing meditations that I've led in groups and workshops. And it's almost 6 hours of meditation. So if that's for you, I have it for 30% off this month. And if you want that gift bundle to give away to someone too, to just help them center within yourself, those meditations is everything. It's grounding, it's ritual, it's cleansing, it's self-love, it's chakra balancing, it's manifestation, all of the yummy stuff. So I'll put the link below. You can go on my Etsy site and grab one of those. And also, if you just want, if I know I have a lot of people that are not in the US, and shipping is a lot. So if you just want the actual videos, I have just a download link for that as well. So stone number one today is this beautiful Labradorite palm stone, and they're really beautiful in how they glow. So that's for pile number one. So take a deep breath and feel into which is for you, for the messages for you right now, how to ground into yourself, how to speak your truth, and what you need in order to align with yourself and your soul journey. And then the second one is the tiger's eye. And then the third one is the pyrite. So labradorite, tiger's eye, and pyrite. So feel into your heart what your intuition is telling you, and I'll put this timestamps below, and we'll get started. All right, so pile number one, the labradorite. Let's see here. So we're going to start with the center card and then where you're coming from. I love this. So your center card is, ooh, look at this, Ascension. Yay. And where you're coming from too, is that with the High Priestess there is that you really connected. You wouldn't have that as a center card if you didn't connect to who you truly are. You've done your work. You're someone here that have done a lot of healing, have practiced to tune into your intuition, to become more aware of your soul journey, your intuition, your gut, and really done a lot of that healing to come to that point too of, wow, you're really, really ascending here. Ascending, what I mean by that is is really coming into awareness more of who you are and, as I said, your soul journey and what it is to live a spiritual life, what it is to live a magical life, because that's what it truly is. When we talk about spirituality, however you believe in that, when we tap into that wow, we're here for a reason and everything happens for a reason, for sure. Everything and anything around us and within us, everything is, showing us forward, showing us how to grow. And the more you become aware of that, the more you will attract that around you as well. And I'm really seeing you here as someone that has definitely done a lot of healing, and you might be far into this journey by now. And so I'm using two different decks here. I'm using the regular Rider-Waite Tarot, and then my Thread of Fate Oracle deck as well. So for you that are in this, and it might be, for some of you, it really feels like an awakening to maybe a different spiritual truth. Actually, what came out then, because we all have. I've been on a spiritual journey for almost 2 decades. I also grew up with it in one way. So we always get more and more understanding what it really means for us to live our soul purpose, to live our full potential, to tune into our soul like that. So I'm feeling here, as I said, for some of you, because this is a general reading, for some of you, you've been on it for a longer time, and for some of you, you're just kind of waking up to how magical the world actually gets to be. And for you to enhance this and make this a life, like I call my mentorship, the soul-led life, because it truly is. When you get to the point where it's not compartmentalized, it's not about, okay, I meditate this time of day, and then sometimes I do a little bit of spirituality here. It's like, for me, it's a way of living. There's always signs. I don't have to tune in necessarily to get signs, to be in tune with my intuition and inner knowledge. When it becomes a way of life, that's where you're in the fluidity of it. That's when you have the opportunities and situations and meetings that is out of this world, that you could never even imagine, that you could only maybe dream about, when it happens. So in order to keep yourself in this magic, for one, the Get Creative card is coming up here. So this is about, really about making sure that you keep that. What I'm feeling is also that childlike wonder. Creativity is in our sacral chakra. So it's that life force energy. It's what lights you up. What makes you, what lights you up, what's your passion, what you just love to do, right? It's beautiful. Today is Friday and Venus Day, and Venus is in the last degree of Sagittarius today. So really tuning into that if you're watching today or this weekend, really tuning into this, like, okay, what do I love to do? Because the thing is that when you give yourself what you love to do, meaning when you allow yourself to do that on a daily basis, then you learn to receive more and more because you're actually giving it to yourself. And we simply have to do that if we want to be seen. I'm going to talk about more about this in boundaries later, but if we want to be seen by others, we first have to see ourselves and our needs and do something about it. That's where we break the patterns and create a different reality for ourselves. So with that showing up with the Page of Pentacles too, it's like it's really I'm feeling it here. Pages are messengers. So this is about, it could, for some of you, it could be about material wealth for sure, something that's coming in, and maybe you're working on abundance right now, of really calling that in and really being aware of where your mind goes if you're operating from a scarcity mindset or not. This is also something that it's not just in our mind, it's also our conditioning, our family, our culture, everything that we've learned growing up in what abundance is for us, and if it's available for us or not, or if it's just something that we perceive of, oh, those are just lucky people, or that's not available for me, or how can it be available for me. For you, some of you, I feel like you've been working a lot with that, so keep on going into that abundance mindset for yourself. For some, it's also going to be maybe actually someone showing up with an offer of something that's going to bring you more prosperity. Yeah. And with that, it's just coming in like with that, it's important to focus on what makes you feel good, as I said, because money is that part too of, are you going to allow yourself to feel good and feel worthy of it? Are you going to acknowledge your own desires and not judge them? Sometimes our mind can come in and just judge what we want, judge our passions, judge our desires because it's not appropriate, or whatever, that we've grown up with, or however that is. And we have to peel off those layers, look into the core of those layers, and then peel them off in order to then actually be able to attract that into our life. Because if we don't peel it off, it's not just like, oh, well, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy. We store all these things in the body, so we have to heal that as well. That came in, so for some of you, that's going to ring through as well. Okay, let's see here. So you are meant to, yeah, okay. So you're definitely meant to focus on celebration in the spiritual field. This is what you're being called to journal about, to meditate about. You simply have to sit down and put those intentions and work. If you want to change your reality, if you want more abundance in your life, for example, and if you want to live this spiritual, all-encompassing life, you have to make that a priority for yourself. So in the spiritual field, it shows that as well. So really sit down, and also a lot of like gratitude is coming in here as well. Being grateful for what you have and for who you are is really coming in as a message, as well. And also for everything that hasn't come in yet, to just see where your expectations is. Are you expecting things to be hard? Or this is something that we talked about in the Gene Key group. I'm in two different Gene Key groups, but in the ones that I'm holding, that we talked about today. What are we expecting when we go into a certain situation, or what are we expecting for ourselves to actually create a fully magical life? So this, in the spiritual field, showing up as that celebration of the Six of Wands, that's really going to be really like, see yourself, meditate and fully see yourself in this next level self. That's what meditation partly is about too. It's what's fully about detaching from your mind and your current reality, and going deeper into your subconscious. But it's also about going beyond your subconscious into soul consciousness. So you can get beyond those limitations and programmings that are holding you back. So this is about visualizing your success, visualizing your celebration, visualizing your victory in whatever area that is. I feel for you with the Ascension card um, as the center here, this is all encompassing your whole life. You don't have to settle for anything, okay? You don't have to say, yes, well, because I'm having all of this, then I'm fine with just having this in this area. It's no, it's all. And you who work with me and do my workshops and programs and whatnot, you know that we are here for it all. We are going to, really go into the depth of those limitations so that you can fully alchemize it. I don't believe in just like, oh, we're going to do a little bit of this and yay. It's like, no, we're here for it all, for your whole most so-called impossible dreams that are not impossible whatsoever, right? Okay, let's see here. So were you being called to, yes, were you being called to really take action on is your intention. So this is as what I was just saying with this journaling and meditating, doing and really doing it. You can't just watch readings and not do it. We have to do it actively, and we have to do it, in the moment, choosing that to be something that we practice, and not only in terms of meditating um, and course correcting our mind, but it's also in relationship that I'm going to talk about in the boundaries later. Um, in relationship, what we're actually practicing on a daily basis, how we show up for ourselves and for others, or not showing up, or however, and how, if that's morphed, or however that is, right? So this is about taking action on your intention. If you want to create a different life, then you have to take real action and committing that to yourself. So this is pretty strong here. This is a strong, really powerful energy that's coming through, and this is in the action field. So really be intentional, and then being aware. Awareness is everything. For you who work with me, you know this. We start off with awareness of energy, awareness of boundaries, awareness of who you are and what you have stored within you, what's holding you back, what is your gift, what is your purpose, all of that. When we shine a light on all of those aspects within ourselves, then we have a choice what it is that we want to change, what it is that we want to enhance, and how we want to show up for ourselves. So super important for you here. I feel like that's a really, really strong energy coming through. And if you want to meditate, I'm just going to say, get that meditation package that I have, because it's bringing you into all of those. As I said, it's just encompassing everything. But whatever that is, or even taking action on, having a conversation that you know in your heart that you're supposed to be having, going to a healer, a coach, whatever that is, something that that you're taking action of who you want to be, right? Taking action from the standpoint of who you are as your next level self. How would that person act and react if you already are fully abundant, if you know that you are fully loved and in the most amazing relationship, if you know that work is beyond fulfilling? How would you, as that person, act today? I love that. All right. And then let's see here. Okay, so how are you perceiving the future? With the Queen of Cups here coming through, it's amazing. You have the High Priestess, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. With the Queen of Cups coming through as how you perceive the future, I'm going to do an outcome card for you here too, and what you're moving into. But with that coming up, this is really someone. Both of these are the most intuitive cards in the deck. And so this is about knowing that you are really intuitive, and you are going to be in the right situations with the right people, creating the right opportunities, bumping into the right people, all of those kind of things. When you think of yourself in the future, make sure that you don't go into any scarcity or old beliefs, or loneliness, or whatever that is for you. Know that you are already following your intuition, and the more you're doing this, the more you're saying yes to your own soul-led life, the more it will come to you, and life just simply turns magic. Queen of Cups is also about emotional stability to really become one with your emotions. It's not about, it's always about accepting your emotions, whatever they are. They don't, it's not about living a blissful, always being bliss, because our emotions are beautiful. It's a beautiful guidance system that we have. So always being aware and being aware of your emotions, be aware of how you react and act, as I said, gives you that opportunity to then observe yourself and and take action from a different standpoint if you want to do that, or just seeing where it leads you. It's your emotions are simply a part of your intuition. It's your truth here. So this is also someone that is really really in tune with your emotions too. So, and then as an outcome card, I want to see two cards please for what you are moving into when you take these steps. And this is about taking action on these steps that comes up in this reading. So two, please. Wow, and I'm seeing a whole like ocean here too. It's just so beautiful. Some of you are definitely either already at the ocean, or maybe it's a trip ahead or something like that. I just saw this like warm, glitter on the waves. That was beautiful as well. And that is also, if we're talking about water, that water and the water element is our emotions. And it's also our sacral chakra, just what we were talking about in the beginning here. But the outcome cards for you here that comes up is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is, passion projects. It's starting, it's having new ideas and new downloads. So I'm feeling here too, if you just how you what's coming up for me is that in one way, because you've done this rapid ascension, because you've done this rapid healing, and you're being called to really continuing taking action on this, then that is just going to put you in a place where you're going to know what your next step is. If you're a little bit unclear because so much is shifting and changing, then you are going to know what your next step is, because in the future cards, as I said, the Ace of Wands, those are new ideas, new downloads, um, and some of you too, new passion. They can be passion projects. It can be ideas that way. It can also be in terms of people, um, you know, up leveling or igniting more passionate love in your life too. For those of you who are here for that. But it's also coming up with it, Four of Cups here as well, making sure that you along the way don't miss opportunities. This is the universe giving you a gift here, but you're focused on these three. So this is about making sure that how I'm feeling this, what came in before too, is that gratefulness, to really be grateful for everything that you are and that you already have. But what I'm feeling more is that this journey, you've done all this, and it's so much, it's so easy to just like, we're such a go 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 society, so it's so easy to just forget to stop. But that integration and that reflection for yourself, holding up that mirror and saying like, wow, I did all this. Look at me. I'm effing amazing. Okay. That's really, really important. That's so, so, so important on your self-love journey. Everything is about self-love. Everything is about how can you love yourself more in every single moment, because that's when you call in. That's why you learn to receive. That's when you call in better and more relationship. That's when you call in money, because that's when you feel fully deserving and worthy as well. So making sure that you take time for that gratitude so you don't miss that, and really just being in the moment. We all have somewhere we want to go, and dreams that we want um, to reach and all of that, but it's so important that we are living here and now. Life is here and now, and there's always gold nuggets to see. Oh, I felt it. I knew it when I sat down today. I was like, I need to have this one of my animal cards as well. This is beautiful. So the snow leopard here is coming to tell you too, as an extra message, that um, you can trust the world. You can trust your environment. even if you've been in a place or situations where you haven't been able to trust that, you're moving into that. Whatever is shifting and changing, you'll be called, you'll know what it is that you need to shift and change in your environment. But it's also about, lowering the guard of your heart here too, for some of you, especially, to be able to trust again, to trust people, trust that, everything is different, and you will be attracting, with all this journey that you've done here, you will be attracting more amazing relationships that won't, that won't backstab you. That might be for just some of you listening to this, but know that you're operating from a different place now, so that will be reflected in the world. So make sure that that you lower that guard and being vulnerable and believing in that too, so that can come in. Maybe that's a part of the blessings that you might um, feel like you might be missing. So lower that guard and dare to be vulnerable and dare to believe and hope and trust. Okay. Lovely. That was what I had for you with the Labradorite. If you want to hear a little bit more about boundaries, I'm going to talk about it. Already came up now, but go down to the timestamps and click on the very last one. And then we're going to move over to pile number 2 in a second here. And also sign up for my, oops, not that one. That's the second pile. Sign up for my and join me in the winter solstice ritual to have more of that self-love and to really set yourself up for all that yumminess and magic in 2023. All right, so pile number 2 is Tiger's Eye. Let's see what we have for you here. So as your center card, we have power. And where you're coming from to where you've just kind of been, and what has brought you to this point is the star. The star is really it's a lucky, it's a wish card. It's really also about nurturing yourself. Like, this is so lush. It can be vulnerable. You might have been in a vulnerable situation where you chose to take care of yourself, maybe speaking your truth, maybe doing more about those self-love practices and spending that time for yourself, and really doing that. And that is bringing you into where you are now, where you're being called to really, really enhance even more so. And that's your own power. This is how I'm feeling this card. We're going to do a whole spread around this, but how I'm feeling this card is that you are realizing, this is a really yummy energy. You're realizing what it is to be in your full potential. You're seeing it more and more and more because of this nurturing, because of maybe also like beautiful synchronicities has happened recently or in the past that have just gotten you to this point that you've opened up your eyes for magic. And magic for me is when we are fully aligned in our soul potential, when we are aligned with our soul and the universe, because that's when we are in our full power. We didn't come here limited. Yes, we grew up in an environment and all these things that made us think and made us store things within our body that we are now meant to let go and heal and alchemize and go in deep with, so that we can fully come into our full potential and realize how powerful you are. Wow, this is where you are now. That's amazing. Okay. Gorgeousness. No, okay. Okay, so you have some situations. I'm wondering, I'm going to do, I'm using 2 decks here, the regular tarot and the regular Rider-Waite, and then the Thread of Fate Oracle deck. So let me see here. Okay, so there is something here. Either you're already in this, or it's coming in, or it's happening right now. It's calling you to be flexible. Versatility here. It's calling you to be flexible with the shifts and changes that are coming in. I'm also feeling other people around you, like situations that might not have panned out or is not panning out exactly how you wanted it. But the thing is here with the High Priestess is that you're being so guided right now. So if something doesn't work out the way you want it to, then that's for a reason. Like a door that closes is always a guidance for us. It's because something better is coming. We just thought we had to take that step, and we just thought that, oh, this is where I'm going. And then, nope, that's not what's going to happen. It's because something better is on the way, or that we meant to like learn something or to look at something. Maybe it highlighted what you didn't want, or maybe it highlighted where you need to do some more inner work, whatever that is, to be able to fully be in your power. Um, it's calling you to be able to be flexible and listen to your intuition here. Listen, fully listen to your intuition and your gut if there is situations where you have to act fairly quickly, or as I said, just be open here with both of these cards. Really be open to what's coming in and what's being shown to you, what's being highlighted that doesn't work, and what's being highlighted as what does work or what you want more of, and move with that. Take action on that. We're going to go see what comes in the action field, but that's really that's kind of the medicine field for the center card. So that's what's going to make you even realize even more to just kind of integrate that power within yourself, to be able to move with all these signs and things happening around you. All right, and then in the so here, I would like you to meditate on, this is in the spiritual field, so that has to do with what we are being called to go in and look deeper within ourselves, and what we're being called to meditate and journal about, and having that space within ourselves. And with the Page of Cups here, this is offers, messengers of something really fulfilling. It could be relationship too. For some of you, this is a general reading, but for some of you, it's going to be, relationship. It could be a love offer. It can be something that has to do with an offer from your friends or work or whatever that is. That is going to lead to something that feels really, really good. So, excuse me, because it's showing up in the spiritual field here, this is it's about you expecting that. And if you tend to trip yourself up or think that, oh, how is that even going to be possible, the mind only operates from what it knows. So if you're trying to manifest a different life than what you already have, then we have to bypass that. And that's why it's coming up in the spiritual field. That's what we do in meditation. We can go deeper within our subconscious and see what we need to reprogram and what's there, but we can also go beyond our subconscious into soul consciousness, so that we can more see our gifts and see the future and keep visualizing that, so that you get used to being in that energy and in that frequency, so that it's easier for you to go into that and expect that even more, rather than just being stuck on loopholes in your mind. So really making sure that you in the spiritual field, it's all about visualization, meditate, do affirmations. For affirmations are great, but meditation is really where it's at, because in the meditation you go into the feeling of it, where that's not always possible in affirmations. It is, of course, too, but how I'm really feeling this, to really go into the whole feeling, what it feels like to have all these offers coming in, whether it's love, friendship, beautiful people around you, money, creative offers, whatever that is, something that's really fulfilling that you've really been wanting. So you're being called to really visualize that more and more and more. And as I said in the beginning, I do have my meditation bundle for sale for 30% off. So jump on that if you want that kind of routine for yourself. And as I said, I have so many different kinds of meditations in there as well, if you want that guidance. So and this is also a part of what we're going to do in the winter solstice. It's just that visualization, that like really aligning to your soul journey and your truth, so that you can set yourself up for success in 2023. So join us in that as well. And then in the action field, I just got the vision of, I feel like some of you, I know this is a general reading, but some of you are definitely going to be I don't know, moving physically. It might just be like moving. I got the feeling that either your energy is moving, you're moving away into something new that you've been wanting. Some of you might be traveling, like physically actually moving that way, or moving home. But there's just something on the move here that helps you with this whole reading, like that whole thing. Maybe that was what came up in the beginning too, of being, being flexible, seeing where you're being called to be in a different environment, even if it's for a while, or um, yeah, something like that came into. I just saw this vision. And then at the same time, I saw that vision, I heard the train outside, that I only hear sometimes because it's so far. But anyway, so the action field is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is really hmm, making choices now from the perspective of the person you want to be. With the Queen of Pentacles, this is abundance. This is someone who's feeling that you have it all, and you are embodying that. You are safe in having everything for yourself, everything that makes you thrive. Um, and it's just such a lush environment. But with the queen, it's about embodying this. So with that showing up in the action field here, this is about taking action. For example, like I started an amazing new mentorship that I'm doing with someone that I absolutely love and adore. And I was just such a gift to give to myself, because I know I've been wanting this for a long time. And now I'm just like, I just pull the plug of like, yes, I'm gonna invest in this, even if it's always a stretch. Whatever we do in terms of growth is always a stretch, whether it's in a monetary investment, whether it's making time for ourselves if we feel like we don't have time for it. If we want to change and grow, there's always a stretch. We have to go through some kind of resistance, and that's what gets us on the other side. Or it's also that stretch of where are you spending your thoughts, like really being like with that visualization card coming up, of like really being diligent on cutting those negative thought patterns, and course correcting them, really being diligent about that. So, however that is, however you would act if you already had what it is that you want, we have to act like that in here and now in order to receive it even more so. So, taking those steps will just call it in even more. Okay, so that's really making sure that you're taking action on that. Um, and then let's see here how to. Okay, beautiful. Another queen. Wow, this is amazing. We had that in the last the first pile too. We had two queens as well, and high priestess. So with how to perceive the future, like if you, again, we've been talking about, it's really important for you to really visualize and going into those good stuff. With the Queen of Swords here, this is about really, really being intentional. So making sure that you write down what it is that you want specifically, right? And the energy of that. I always talk about when we go into manifestation workshops and programs and all of that. It's all about feeling that this is the detail of what I want. And if you don't know all of that yet, it's putting yourself in the environment and in that meditative space of, okay, now I can hear my soul. Your soul always speaks to you in terms of passions. We have to sit and listen into what lights me up. What is it that my mind perceives as our most impossible dreams. So being really, really intentional is really important for you here, so that you can have that kind of like what I call a northern star. So you have that as a compass needle of like, okay, this is where I'm going. So that when you veer off, and when our mind and people around us and energies and the moon and all of these things, emotions and old patternings on a different loop, so that you have this as a steady, this is where I'm going. Okay. And also join us for the winter solstice ritual for this, for sure. So making sure that you always have that if you do veer off in your mind, always have that to come back to. Do something like even putting an affirmation up or putting something that reminds you. Always have crystals in my pockets. I had the Labradorite, and today I have a rose quartz as well. I've had to do a lot of nurturing for myself, but this full moon made me realize so many things really highlighted for me. So I took extra care of myself and bought amazing, really good organic food and green juices and yesterday, and just really made sure that I have all that nurturing as well. So however that is, I don't know why that came in. That was for some of you, maybe a reminder to take care of yourself physically as well, so that you can set yourself up for just being in that portal and your full potential. Okay, and then we're going to do two last cards for you as outcome cards. If you take these steps that has been shown for you here, what is waiting for you is, oh, there was two. All right, so we have the seven of, the seven of, I was looking at the both at the same time. Six of Wands, the seven of Swords here. So this is about, again, this is victory. Really making sure that you are visualizing this. This is a potential outcome card. So when you're diligent with this, it's going to lead you to this victory and celebration and really moving forward into your power here. But you have to be aware, this kind of popped up with it. You have to be aware that you're not self-sabotaging yourself. Okay. And when you do, just love yourself for it, saying, oh, now I know even more that this is an area that I have to work on, or that this is an area where I need to shift, and where it's the hardest for me, where there's more, more resistance. And it's good. It's good when we come to that realization, because then we know where to ask for help or where to ask for support and all those things, so that we can hold ourselves accountable, and so we can get the support to hold ourselves accountable, if that's what it is, in those self-sabotaging behaviors. So it's nothing wrong. It's just about being aware of it, so that you can instead work on it and be supported in it, so you can really start harvesting that victory and celebrate everything that is coming in for you, all this abundance, all this soul-led life, all of that. I felt it as I sat down today. I took my animal deck as well. Just one extra message for you here for the tiger's eye pile. So the shark here is showing up. This is Swedish, by the way, for you who don't know. I'm born and raised in Sweden. I've been in the US for 14 years now, but the shark is all about that. There's something here that's an illusion, and maybe that has to do with the versatility card that showed up here in the beginning too. Something that you have perceived or are perceiving in one way is actually something different. And that doesn't mean that it's something bad. There's something behind it. The light is always behind it. The wisdom is always behind it. There's always something that we can learn and grow from. Even a challenge or something really hard is where we grow from. It holds the light for us, even if it feels like it's just something dark. So this is about seeing through the illusions in your mind and in your conditioning, but also what's showing up in the world, or in however situation too, that it's actually a guidance. So make sure that you don't, with the shark too, is like, make sure that you don't act on your fears here when triggers come up, but see it as an opportunity. So there's something here that, yeah, I feel like maybe not has shown up or been or will be exactly the way you think, but no fear here. Okay, that's why the visualization card, this is coming in again. Like, it's really important for you to really take time if you want to break the cycle that you're in, if you want something different than what you have right now. It's really important with this visualization for you to work on. Okay, that's all for you for this time. If you want to hear a little bit more about boundaries, I'm going to talk just a little bit about it at the end, so you can go and click on that, as well as signing up for my intentional winter solstice ritual and my meditation bundle right now, if you want to jump into all this yumminess and set yourself up for a really good start for next year and for just now. It's not always about next year. It's simply about here and now, right? All right. Thank you so much for this time. And let's see here. Where did I just blend in my animal decks into these? All right. So pile number 3 is the pyrite. All right, so the pyrite is, wow, okay, so we'll see how it shows up here. The center card here is the underworld. So you are being called to really go into your subconscious here, to really go in to see um, where are you limiting yourself and why. This is, I mean, this is what I do in my work. I'm a Scorpio moon in my 12th house. If you follow astrology, it's that's what I lead everyone through, my clients. We go in deep. We go into, okay, what is it? Why has this pattern kept showing up in your life? Or where are you right now? And what is it that's stopping you from this next step? We have to go in to see in the underworld, which is within ourselves, and learning that there's nothing scary in there. But for some, as you start this journey, or even if you're in the midst of it, if you're really coming up against something, it can feel like it's something that's really intimidating and something that have been scary to look at. And but the thing is that you within you hold all the resources, all the solutions that you need for yourself. So don't be afraid to go within, and obviously ask for support, ask for guidance. That's the work that I do on a daily basis with my clients. So ask for that, whether it's from me, from a different coach, from a therapist, from friends around you, so that you can feel safe. Because that's the most important thing here, is that you feel safe and that you feel like you're in a trusting environment and a trusting energy. um, that we have to have that in order to unravel ourselves and open up ourselves like that. So coming from two, you come with the 3 of Cups here. That's interesting, and this is a general reading, so not everything is going to resonate with everyone. But I see you coming from here, some kind of celebration, something good has happened, like either with your friends or like in a community or with someone else. Something really beautiful has happened, but maybe that just brought you to this next step, because that's how this beautiful soul journey works for us, is that when we have accomplished, when we feel really good in something, and when we maybe have taken a step to, oh my gosh, this is like, I've freed myself, I've taken this big leap, or I've put out there what it is that I'm going to manifest, and it's all happening, and I want more of it, I want more of that freedom, whatever that is. When we put that out that much, it's things are going to show up that is within us, that it's limiting us from having that, and the reason why we don't already have it. So manifestation and healing goes hand in hand, and manifestation and healing and receiving goes hand in hand, always. So I feel like maybe that's something that just has catapulted you into, okay, it's just time to look within deeper. Okay, so let's see what is going to support this. Looking in. Wow. Okay. So this is with the ancestor card. I'm going to do one of these too. Oh my gosh, the high priestess has showed up for every single reading, or every single pile. So with the ancestor card here, this is really, let's see here, where are we? This way. Really making sure that you are, or not making sure, this has to do, this underworld, this subconscious as it's going within, has to do that you're here to break ancestral patterns. Whoa. These cards are like, hello, we want to play. Okay, I'm gonna let you play. Yeah, death. Okay. So this is a lot here. I can feel the energy just like of whoever's listening to this, like your ancestors are here to help you break the patterns that they couldn't break. Okay, that's why you're here. This is every single client that I do a mentorship with. My mentorships are 2 months long, is because you're here to break ancestral patterns. And we can do this in just in a child healing session as well. But this is really rewiring. This can be, it could be witch wounds. Witch wounds has a real depth to it in terms of speaking your truth and really, being in accepting that life is magical, accepting that we are here for a reason, and really being, spiritual in that. But with this ancestral wounds coming in here too, is that this can be cultural as well. I have worked a lot on this. I'm born and raised in Sweden, and when I went through divorce 2 years ago after this, and I've just worked a lot on the cultural limitations that I come from. Every single culture, every single country has that in different ways, right? So we have to see where that conditioning comes from, which is then shown in our family as well. And just also what's coming up here is like emotional intelligence is what I work with a lot with clients, is that oftentimes is that you've grown up maybe in a household or with people close to you that haven't been able to emotionally regulate, meaning knowing how to be and see with your own emotions. So they've been reactive or they've been suppressive, whatever that is, different kind of emotional abuse even, and trauma. So when that's the case, we have to reprogram how we receive, how we're a people pleaser. Maybe if you were a child, weren't seen, weren't loved the way you were supposed to, whatever a child deserves, all of those things, whatever it is that's been a limitation in your family, in your upbringing, with your ancestors, we are here to break it. We simply are. We're here to break it. And if you're listening to this and if you're working with me, you know that we go to the depth and we are here to break it. Those are the people that I call into my energy. So if you needed that confirmation, that's there for you. So with the high priestess there, and then the death card showing up with these cards just like moving, is that this is letting go. This is completely letting go. That's why you called into the underworld, because it's time. It's time that you go really deep and that you start breaking these patterns. And we do all of that work inside ourselves with different kind of healing and awareness and all of that. Wow, you're here for it. And it's like it's happening here and now. Whatever it is that, prompted you, that got you to this point, is like this is happening and now we're dealing with it. So obviously I have a few spaces for sessions still left in December, and I do have a mentorship space too. So reach out to me about that. But this is the time. However you do this, it's just wow with all these cards. Okay, we'll see what else comes up. Okay, so in this spiritual field, it's the Temperance card. So this is also a lot of healing. The Temperance card is just, yeah, it's beautiful healing and it's finding balance, but um, you really need to nurture yourself here, okay? And with that coming into the spiritual field, this is like there is a lot of healing. You're really being called to say yes to yourself. That's what healing is for me. It's saying yes to yourself, saying yes to live the most amazing life that you've ever dreamt of, saying yes to speaking your truth, to be free in who you are. And because of that, you're being called to do this deep, deep healing. Um, yeah, and with that in the spiritual field, uh, where I look into what you call to meditate about inner child healing, I have a 90-minute session for that. I'll put the link below in that too. Um, and really going into deep here. Okay, let's see what else comes up. Okay, so in the action step is a very action card. So this is the Ace of Wands. So um, the way I interpret tarot for me is that the wands are new, that they're ideas and their thoughts and their downloads, more so than action. Depends on how you read tarot. It's just so what I'm feeling here is that this is the universe handing you new ideas, new downloads. And so it's really about acting on your intuition here, acting on what you've been called to do in terms of healing or therapy modalities here. Um, with all these really powerful cards showing up before this is what you meant to take action on. So this is about following your gut. This is, as I said, this is the universe giving you these ideas, these intuitive feelings, these gut feelings. It could also be like, you know, kind of like passion projects coming in and stuff. But I, with this whole reading, the way I see it is like it's time to take action. It's a new journey that is given to you, that is right in front of you, that is given to you to take action on. So I would say do not delay in that. Trust your on the how, or trust the people that you're being called to reach out on, or trust the whatever it is. If you have like, okay, I know this is the way I take care of myself, this is the way that I meditate the best, like make sure that you carve out that time, and not so much carve out, but choose and prioritize that time for yourself, however that is for you, to support yourself in all this healing coming up here. And then let's see here. Yes, of course, of course, of course, of course. Okay, enough with scarcity, enough with scarcity and loneliness. So, how to perceive the future, what to think about, because it could be really scary when we're like, okay, I'm ready, but where do I start? And it's scary to look into our shadow part. That's what shadow work is. And if you're not used to it, or even if you're used to it, it's still like, oh, okay, this is right in front of me now, and now I have to look into this shit. You know, it's what you're here to remind yourself of, to when you think about your future, when you think about the next steps, is the Fool. This is beautiful. The Fool is a new journey. It's not a foolish journey, but it might feel like you're walking off a cliff because it's a little bit scary because you're doing something new, but you have to do that new if you want to change your situation. You don't obviously don't have to do anything, but if you're here because you do want to change something in your life, because you do want to attract better and more, and whatever that is for you, you have to take this step into the unknown. It's only in the unknown and out of our comfort zone that we grow. So making sure that you do see that, wow, this is a new journey that you're starting, and that's the courage, having that courage to go within. This is where I light up. This is where I love to guide every single person that I get to have as a client. I love to see them all, or you all, if you're one of them, to find yourself, find your truth, find your power. And you do that by going deep, deep, deep within yourself. Okay. It's the most beautiful thing you can ever give to yourself. And also know here, there's companions, this little dog here. Dogs for me, having done so much animal wisdom, dogs for me are friendship. So you have the support, you have the friendship. Make sure that you have, if you don't have it, reach out to those friends, take, book those sessions, whatever that is for you. Know that you have the support here as you go on your new journey. And this is movement. This is movement, moving forward. You're supported by the universe so much in this. So know that when you, if you do hesitate of like, oh my gosh, if you're standing there and ready to do something and hesitate, know that you are supported. This yeah, new journey and moving forward, you're fully supportive. It's also about being like disciplined to make sure that you do move forward. Okay. And then I'm going to do some outcome cards for you. What? Ooh, a little bit less, please. What you moving into? I know there's a lot of energy. If you're ready here, even though you might be scared of part of it or whatever, but you're ready. This is a very powerful energy that I'm feeling here. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Of course, right? Um, So when you take these steps, these are the outcome cards. We all have free will, but these are the outcome cards. If you take these steps that this reading has shown you, the King of Swords. This is someone that's not gender, however, it's someone that is super intentional and take action and know like this. And just like you lean into yourself and you learn that you have all the solutions within you. You do all the right moves that you're supposed to do. This is someone that does take action and being very trusting in yourself, that okay, this is what I know, this is what I'm going to do, so this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to bypass my mind if my mind throws a fit, or if people around me throws a fit, and or not throws a fit, but is not agreeing with me. That's their whatever. Your life is your life, okay? Even your loved ones, even your closest ones. I know this. I've dealt with family, friends. I know how it is to do something that is not supported, okay? But you are what matters. You have responsibility for you, and you are someone that takes that action fully and trusting yourself. So this is one of your outcome cards. And then the second one is the lovers. So for some of you, love is coming in, but the lovers for me is more so, especially in a reading like this, like this is for you, that you're making contracts with yourself, like the lovers within you. You are negotiating the contracts, maybe the negative thought patterns, these ancestral lineage of limitations that you've held on to, or that you've had within yourself. You are breaking those patterns, and you are instead making this commitment within yourself. The lovers is the most beautiful, you know, commitment card and contract within yourself that is fully supportive of yourself. Okay, that's amazing. I did for the other piles. I'm going to do it for yours too, just from my animal wisdom deck. An extra message for you. Yes, strengthen the relationship with yourself. This cats are all about just taking care of themselves. You know how a cat can just lay in the sun and just like, lick and take care of it. Just like, oh, I'm doing whatever I want. I don't care what anyone else does or thinks. I'm going to go over here now, or I'm going to be here. I'm going to sleep, or I'm going to enjoy whatever it is. Cats are just, they're doing whatever the F they want. Okay. So this is about strengthening that relationship with yourself. As I said, like this is your life, your journey. So it's time to break these limiting patterns. It's time to have it all. It's time to have all your dreams. It's time to do this healing once and for all, so that you can free yourself and have a really self-love, strong lovers with yourself. Just really learning that you're made from love. And the more you realize that and feel that every day, the more you come back to that way, the more you let go of all these limitations and weight and maybe pressure that you've put on yourself, the more you come back to love. That's where magic happens. That's where we are aligned in our soul journey. That's when, with magic happening, I mean that's when we find ourselves in the right opportunities that seems like unfathomable, whatever. I'm gonna skip that word. Sometimes those words, and I've been channeling that for an hour. So whatever that magic is that your mind don't even dare to believe in, but your heart knows, that's what magic is, and that's what you're bringing yourself into by saying yes. So do this thing, meditate, get the meditation bundle for you. I feel like dive deep in there. Okay, I have mentorships, I have sessions, I have a three session bundle, shadow integration and healing bundle as well. If that's something for you, contact me if you want to, if that interests you, if that's the yes. And join me for the solstice ritual. It's going to be a really loving space and time, in gratitude and just aligning yourself to setting yourself up right for 2023. Okay, beautiful. That is what I had for you. And now we're going to go over, I'm just going to collect these cards, and then we're going to go over and talk a little bit about boundaries that I wanted to just say. Okay. So, last week I said we'll talk about boundaries. It's something that um, for me, I work with on a daily basis, and something that I always bring up with my clients as well, because it's something that we all need. We need to be aware of our energetic boundaries, and also how we act, and how that affects our life, our relationships, and everything. Okay, so I can do a whole thing about this, but I wanted to bring up a couple of things today, just to for you to just ponder about, or having, sink in. So when it comes to, and as I said too, like we've been talking about boundaries in a relationship, every single one of my sessions this week without me planning it. It just is what's in the collective, in what we're working on right now. So this is about, first, it's about awareness. How is your relationships? Where is there any relationships where you hold yourself back, where you don't show all of who you are, where you maybe tend to not speak, either not speak your truth and playing small, or also um, kind of hold certain things back because you're not showing all of who you are, then, because that will make other people more comfortable, whether this is in your family or friends or at work, whatever that is. Know that this is or with your partner too. So this is a time where we're really called to, not just a time, I take that back. If you really want to have really, really good relationships in all areas of your life, including with yourself, if you want to manifest all your dreams, then we have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions. So if you hold yourself back with certain people in certain situations, know that that affects how you um, how you receive in life as well. And this might come from, the reason why we're doing this is that, you might have gone through abandonment, you might have gone through where you haven't been seen or heard, whatever that wounding comes from, usually early on in your life, but that then, shows up in any way through life as well. But knowing that if you do that, the first step is to really make sure that you're aware of that. So you're aware of yourself, with who and in what situations, and what are you holding back, because there's some kind of wounding there to go into. Are you a people pleaser, or are you a people pleaser in certain situations? Do you um, hold yourself back in order to make other people comfortable? And if so, you're not fully giving yourself credit. You're not fully allowing yourself to be you fully. So that might have then the repercussion that people around you expect you to hold that space. They expect you to do more for them than what they do for you. And that's why you're not always getting what it is that you want, or that you're seen in the way that you want to be seen. So being really aware of how you act, because that's the energy that you're going to attract back. And sometimes it's time for those, conversations, but foremost, it's about you being aware of what you're doing, so you can start shifting that within yourself. And that's usually the hard work, where we have to start shifting that, and where we also have to go into that inner child healing and holding that, because it's usually scary to do something that we're not used to, because it might trigger those, abandonment wounds, or whatever that is, or not being seen, or am I enough, or am I worthy, am I deserving of this, can I ever get out of, however, whatever that plays out in your mind, right? And in your emotions, in your nervous system, because sometimes we know things in our mind, and we still act because we act from our subconscious. We, over whatever it is, 98, 99%, we act from our subconscious, and that's why we have to make it more conscious. So awareness is number one, and then making sure that you take action on that, either to do the healing work, or to have those conversations, or to push yourself. It might feel like a risk, it will probably feel like a risk, to push yourself to be all of you, and to say all of you, even if, and you don't always know how it lands. Sometimes it's actually, we had one in one session today, we talked about that in terms of work, is that sometimes, and actually not just in work, in friendships, in family, when you speak your truth, when it feels hard to do, you get to be the inspiration. Maybe you inspire someone else that's held themselves back, and you get to be that inspiration because you're the one daring to stand up and do it, because maybe everyone else is not. And that's how you can be the inspiration for people in your life, to be in their truth as well. Okay. And then also what I wanted to bring up here is is your own reactions and how we feed into drama or not. And this is so important um, to just see like how are we reacting a certain way. And because the thing is here is that everyone operates from their own perspective unless you've done a lot of work. So you start being more and more observant of yourself and other people. When you've done a lot of mindfulness work, when you've done a lot of inner work so that you don't get triggered so much, or you have that buffer, when you see that you get triggered, you can say, oh, I'm triggered right now. Where is this coming from? And when you're at that point, you probably know where it's coming from, and it still might show up because it's still in your nervous system. You're still, cleansing that out. um, but it's about seeing that, okay, this is my reaction, or it might be someone else's reaction, and to not take things personally. Everyone reacts from their point of view. um, and everyone has their way of what they think is appropriate, or how they want you to behave in order for them to feel safe, maybe, or what they think is, whatever, appropriate. And it's like, no, that's so much BS, so much conditioning, so much being put in boxes. So this is about seeing that, being able to stop yourself both from your own triggers so that you can just sit with it and see where it's coming from, but also to not be fed into other people's energy, people that are used to drama, that just kind of seek that out, um, because maybe they don't dare to go into something themselves. So they have to create that within it, or they're projecting because it's easier to project on someone else than it is on you. So for you, or than it is to go in within ourselves. So being aware of how people show up around you, and also don't take things personally, and seeing instead, why is this being reflected? Why is this in my energy right now? What am I supposed to learn from this, or what am I supposed to sit with? And if it's a trigger, what is that trigger actually coming from? Because it's not usually that other person that is holding up the mirror at the moment that is the actual trigger. It's coming from within you somewhere. So everyone has a reason for why they're acting and reacting, and we all have to take responsibility for that, for ourselves as well as other people around you. And it can be so much of also setting boundaries. Like when I went through my divorce a couple of years ago, I told myself, and even before that actually, I had said to myself that I only want 100% relationships, which is also one of the reasons why I did go through a divorce. But I did it with friendships as well. I did it previously, whenever that is now, 17 years ago, with my family. When I chose me, when I went through some of the hardest times of my life and losing my family, and I chose me, and that wasn't popular. And I understand that, with people around me, or however, and some people will never understand my choices. But that's when I came into choosing myself and my healing journey, and seeing that that's really important. So this is for you to set boundaries then. If you're around people that are doing whatever, why are you around them? How can you be around them in a different way? Or if it's actually someone that you can close out, that you're not supposed to be with, it's okay to grow apart. Friendships or colleagues, or just whatever that is for you, it's okay to put distance between yourself and someone else. For some of you, this is going to resonate of like, what are you holding on to, and who are you holding on to, and why? If it doesn't resonate anymore, or can we grow together? Can you grow together? Then we have to have those clear communications so that you don't keep in those loops that are not actually fair to who you truly are. Because you're when we settle in one way or another, when we're holding ourselves back in one way or another in any kind of relationship, is going to show up in all areas of life, or in a different area of life. And it's not always correlating exactly what it is, but the core energy is different. And it's because you're not fully speaking your truth, or fully standing your ground, or fully having that energetic boundary. That's even also to just, to social media, to the news, to, craziness that's going on, that's just feeding us fear, instead of just saying like, no, I'm not going to be in this energy because I can't even sort out my own energy or thoughts or intuitive or truth. If I'm just bombarded with everyone else's energy or the collective energy, you have to set boundaries and you have to hold them. You have to hold yourself accountable to that too, and then that's going to be reflected from people around you. It's going to be reflected from the universe to then give you what it is that you want, but you have to do it for yourself first, and in relationship with others. Okay, that's that giving and receiving. Are you giving more than you receive? As I mentioned before, it's like however we do when we set those boundaries, we actually give to ourselves because we say yes to ourselves when we speak our truth, and when we are in our truth, we say yes to ourselves. And when you say yes to yourself, you say yes to your dreams. You say yes to feeling good. You say yes to receiving more. But you have to break the patterns where you don't say yes to yourself, where it's showing up as you are giving more than you're receiving, where you're people pleasing, where whatever it is, when you're not prioritizing yourself, when you know that the best thing is to prioritize yourself or your truth or your time or however your energy, however that is. Okay. Um, let's see here. Was there anything else that I wanted to bring up? Yeah, when you honor yourself like that, when you are spending time, money, energy, whatever it is for yourself, you honor yourself. Just like I've been saying throughout these readings today too, is that when you see yourself and your needs and you take action on that, the universe sees that you're ready for that, and the people around you will honor you with that same energy. But you have to give that to yourself first so that you attract that same energy around you. And so you attract it from the universe too, to put these opportunities and people in your energy that honors themselves so they can understand why you choose yourself, so that we don't go into a feeding, if you have someone that's used to you just holding their energy, holding space for them, doing everything for them, they might say that you're crazy or selfish or whatever, taking time for yourself, but it's just because you're not feeding into them. It's just because you are not accessible for them anymore. But that doesn't have anything to do with you. If you're going to be accessible for them and for everyone else while you're actually sacrificing yourself or sacrificing some part of yourself, that doesn't equate. Okay, if anyone has anything to say about anything that you do, that's fine. We just have to say, okay, that's your opinion. That's okay. You can think that or whatever. I know the path that I'm going to take and that I need for myself. So that's what I'm going to honor. And then that's the energy that you're going to keep attracting into yourself. Okay, so set those boundaries with yourself and with other people and hold yourself accountable for what you know that you need. Okay. Thank you for this little extra chat. If you have any questions, comments, or any other topics that you want me to bring up, I'll be happy to do so in these videos as well, so we can go a little bit deeper. If you love this, please join me for the winter solstice ritual. It's going to be really, really beautiful. It's going to be that time for yourself. That's so important to take so that you can align with who you are and so that you can set yourself up better for your truth and for your life. Okay. All right. Well, I will see you at some point next week. And thank you so much for today. I love you all. Mwah. Big kiss. Bye.